Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before we took the tea break, I was pointing out to you the action I took when I satisfied myself that it would be irresponsible under the circumstances to have disregarded the content of the material made available to me. And I pointed out to you the part I took with the audience I sought with His Excellency President George Maxwell Richards on January 8th, I think, at 2 p.m. And the role that the Integrity Commission could and should play in a situation like this. And Mr. Speaker, I want to remind you that I said that the Integrity Commission has that power superior to police investigation. And the investigator of the commission has the power to virtually command the cooperation from any person in an investigation. Once a person is designated an investigating officer of the Integrity Commission, that person carries the tremendous power that this Parliament gives that office. And of course, the Commission can, on its own volition, determine that persons can be summoned and examined under oath. And this is a situation that warrants that, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, because the nature of this problem is such, it requires people with specialist skills. This pretense by the Parliament to do an investigation here, and members can say, I investigated it. One member got up and said, in 6 minutes, I was able to determine that this to be thrown away. And of course, everybody is an expert in here. This House cannot investigate and determine this matter. What this House can do is what the member for St. Joseph said it should do. And I'll tell you what it is, in case you didn't hear, because they were so shocked and pale, they didn't hear him. Let me tell you what he said. He said the information brought to this House. Mr. Speaker, I want protection from the Prime Minister, please.
You have protection.
Thank you. The member said, what has been brought to this House, what appears to be misconduct, what appears to be misbehavior, if true, is a matter that cannot be decided upon factually by this chamber. And I want to commend that to those on the other side who have appointed themselves self-serving exonerators of themselves. This can't be a himself or herself to herself. I wouldn't be surprised at all. As a matter of fact, I am surprised that the Prime Minister didn't enter the debate and said that she has found somebody who in their own corner somewhere in the world or in the country who has determined his nonsense. That is very comfortable for them to do, but that will not restore confidence in this country. The only thing that will restore confidence in this country is an independent investigation. And all this thing about sending it to the police, Mr. Speaker, that is good for what is good for. Because the average person in this country will not be comforted that the police in Trinidad and Tobago has the capacity or the leadership will to investigate this matter in a way that will restore confidence in Trinidad and Tobago. And we are not without possibilities, Mr. Speaker, and it troubles me more. It troubles me more when I've seen that after the sending of it to the police as announced by the government, that a certain DCP, Mervyn Richardson, is the person who is now supposed to investigate this. I'll have more to say on that. But he is the officer who was of the assassination plot fame. Does that bring confidence to you, Mr. Speaker? You remember the famous assassination plot? That is where he is located, as far as my office was concerned. And therefore my office has no confidence whatsoever that he is. So, Mr. Speaker, it's against that background that I understand Section 40 of the Integrity Commission Act. It says, Mr. Speaker, the Commission may, for specific projects or investigations, enter into contracts for services of persons having technical or specified knowledge of any matter relating to the work of the Commission. This matter is extremely technical. It's very specific. And I know that the country can only be well served if the proper investigators are asked to investigate. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Speaker. If we're talking about investigation, aren't we talking about evidence and preservation of evidence? The Prime Minister is telling the country in news conferences that she has sent the police commissioner a request to investigate it. Has she sent him her BlackBerry or any BlackBerries involved in the statement there? My name is not there. If my name was there, Mr. Speaker, I would have gladly handed up my iPad and my BlackBerry. Don't come and tell me that you have sent it to the police while you hold on to the evidence base, because evidence tampering is a normal thing.
Mr. Speaker, I rise. I cannot hear what the leader is saying. 40 BNC, please. I can't hear.
All right, okay, members, please. Members, all of us would like to hear, and particularly the Hansard reporters. If they have to record accurately what is being said, they need to do it in silence. So I seek the cooperation of all members. Continue, Honorable Leader.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so we are supposed to accept investigations organized, controlled by those who are being investigated. I mean, I must say, I was impressed with the member for St. Joseph. He couldn't put it better. Once there is a semblance of truth coming out of the whole body that is so intertwined, a tangled web, this warrants an investigation with the scenes sanitized of the people involved. Does Trinidad and Tobago know that? Are we as a people, as a nation, going to accept that these doubts, troubling doubts, are now before the population, and will accept an investigation from people who have demonstrated an inability to investigate? My colleague from St. Augustine yesterday, after he wiped his tears, he got up here and told us the details of something that he was involved in. The cocaine in the water tank in Minister Bash's office, home. He gave us the background to that. He was involved in it. But he made the point that some government agency was involved in that crime. So he was confirming that governments can be involved in crime not only abroad but here in Trinidad and Tobago. That's the point that he was making, tongue-in-cheek. Because we always have to listen to the COP and interpret, you know. And then he went on to say that when they had it all wrapped up, they passed it to the police. And what happened? Nothing. And they're telling me I should pass this to the police for what to happen?
Nothing.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleagues in this House accuse me of being part of some fabrication. And I'm involved in some, and they keep spawn on me. I might look stupid, Mr. Speaker, but I'm not that stupid. So what they're asking the country to believe is that I knowingly participate in a fabrication or a series of fabrications, and that I come to the House and I'm demanding an investigation to prove the fabrication. I am here demanding a deep forensic investigation, not involving anyone inside, for something which I know is fabricated or which I participate in the fabrication. That is the mindset of people on the other side. That makes sense to you, Mr. Speaker?
None at all.
And of course, while they're doing that, they're telling people in the country, dismiss what the opposition has said, because no two emails can come from the same domain. Let me send them up, Mr. Speaker, to http://askmetaflex.com, and they will find something about 2 MX records for one domain. And this is saying to them, it is possible to have 2 distinct email servers for 2 sets of non-overlapping addresses for the same domain. You don't have to believe me. I'm not an expert, But if this doubt exists, and if this is what is being said against what they are saying to us, then it has to be investigated by experts for definitive outcome. Because if you notice, Mr. Speaker,
members, I'm appealing to members. The Hansard report is having some challenges. And could we allow the member to speak in silence? Continue, Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. For the last 2 days, the government has been putting up veils of doubt to stand behind, to say dismiss this thing in its entirety. One of the emails, Mr. Speaker, the one of the 19th of May, of September, 19 September 2012. That, I think it was the last email, the final email. And if I may read for you, Mr. Speaker, what it says. I hear the leader of government business talking about speaking of backdating emails. That is his interpretation. The member for St. Joseph doesn't think that that one was backdated. The last email I raised in this house, email number 31, which, as well as recording gmail.com, also had anan@tstc.net.tt, which he acknowledges his email. That email says, but don't worry, this is the last line. We will chat tomorrow and finalize plans for that girl. That girl was a reporter at The Guardian. This is the 19th. They finalized plans for The Guardian, and lo and behold, Mr. Speaker, on the on the 21st, now the email that the fabricator is operating on, according to them, away in the little fabricating corner, on the 19th, there's a promise to deal with the girl in The Guardian. On the 21st, a pre-action protocol goes from a law firm to The Guardian from the people who have said on the 19th that they will deal with the girl and The Guardian. The investigator will know. A pre-action protocol goes to The Guardian. It goes to The Guardian from who is the pre-action protocolist in this country? The Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. Goes from him to The Guardian. The threat that we saw in the emails on the 19th, the threat that we saw in the emails on the 19th, I don't know if they have any link, but I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, what history shows. On the 21st, a protocol letter is dated to The Guardian. That's
member for the Martin West, could you? Honorable members, may I appeal again to allow the member to speak in silence. Continue, Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why they're disturbing me, because this is only one place we're talking, and we talk elsewhere as well. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm saying to you, we see in the email pile, as put together by the whistleblower, this ending of a communication that they will deal with the girl of The Guardian. 48 hours later, there is a pre-action protocol going to The Guardian from the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, whose email has been identified in these proceedings and owned up to by him. That email gets on the Facebook site the following day, and the Facebook crowd is out there now working it. It's all there. And it gets to The Guardian, received on the 25th. So between the 19th and the 25th, you start with a promise to treat with it, a lawyer being briefed, an email, a pre-action protocol is issued, the Facebook crowd is organized on the 22nd, it's all there on the internet, go look for it, it's there. Don't take my word for it. And then The Guardian receives it on the 25th. And Mr. Speaker, in the face of that, I am now to determine that there is no way that there could be anything that anybody could think that there is any connection between them. All I could say, Mr. Speaker, there is sufficient doubt to warrant an investigation. There's another one where it's promised the corroborating information that wants us to take this thing seriously. It is promised in one of the emails that I have just sent out a release, and then a release as owned up to by the Attorney General here appears on his website 23 minutes later. What do you want me to think?